So bless me, welcome on top 100 recruit in the class of 2020. Austin Nunez, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
For sure. Well, let's get into this. Your part 2022. It's now been a few months of coaches being able to call you and really starting to seriously go into this recruiting process. What does it feel like to be in the position you're at right now?
It feels good to be in the position I am to have a choice of different schools to go to and being blessed that those schools still have interest in me.
And we'll get into the process in a little bit, but you did make a big move going out to Wagner. What went this decision? Why is Wagner the school you chose?
Wagner was, I wouldn't say it was like, it was never a plan for me to leave Cornerstone. So the team that we had, they no longer have that program anymore. So the best decision for me to make and for me to be able to stay home was to go to Wagner and be able to play the top teams in Texas and still be competitive.
I want to kind of discuss what exactly happened there. I mean, a year ago, you guys have a roster involving you, Jerrell, Trey, three huge, big time, top 50 caliber kind of players all on the same team. How did this kind of unfold and turn into now where you guys all went to new schools?
It was because I would say our coach was really in a bad situation with the school, and I would say just that right there, just I would say kind of went downhill for us throughout the season when that started. So I would say that's mainly the reason why we all left and went to different schools. And I mean, it really wasn't the plan. We were really all planning to stay and have successful high school careers and stuff like that. But I mean, it sucks that it happened, but everything happens for a reason. So
I believe Trey was the first piece to go. He's out there now in California. How was it kind of adjusting to when you guys started losing players and guys, I think you guys got down to like five or six guys or something on the roster. How would you deal
yeah,
with that? How would you adjust to that during the course of the year?
I would say it was pretty hard when he left because he was a big contributor to us scoring the ball and another ball handler that was he was someone else that could bring up the ball if I didn't have the ball in my hand. So I thought that was pretty helpful. So when he left, I would say it was pretty hard. We only played about 6 games. We didn't play too many games without him. So we only played 6 games, but I would say within those 6 games, I I really had to get everyone involved and really had to create for others a lot more so they could get open shots and easy looks. So we had a chance to win.
Now, if you three were still together playing this upcoming season, what could you have accomplished or done in this upcoming year?
I think that we definitely would have accomplished some pretty big things because we were going to be in some really good events. So I thought we would have done. I thought we would have had a good season if it would have stayed.
Now, you go to Wagner. What other schools were you considering, or was it just Wagner? How did you guys go through that process?
Uh, I mean, I did consider other schools. I considered some schools in Florida, some other schools in Texas, but I mean, the biggest factor in it was just me being able to not have to leave my house, leave my family behind, and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that, so I thought it was the best decision to make for me to stay home.
For your senior season, is going out of state, going to big prep school, or something you might consider?
I mean, maybe. I mean, as of right now, I would say I'm pretty locked in on staying at Wagner, but I mean, things change, which I'm not hoping things do change. I like it at Wagner, but I know things happen. So I mean, whatever God has in the future for me is what's gonna happen.
I also believe that Jerrell was originally going to go with you to Wagner. We know he's now heading out to Houston to go play with Mason Miller, but what was that transition like, and what would have been like to possibly play with him at Wagner?
I thought it would have really helped because we're a pretty. I wouldn't say we're a young team, but I mean we are. I would say
Mhm.
like we have we have some guys that haven't played varsity, so I would say it will be interesting. So we don't have many guys that have experience playing varsity either. So I would say it's going to be a challenge for us in the season, but I think that we'll get there. And I would say the factor of losing Jerrell did hurt because Wagner is really like a run and jump team. I would say pressing you full court, man to man, and having someone like Jerrell helps because he's a rim protector. So we're applying pressure on whoever's trying to score, and he's in the paint doing what he does.
Going forward, college recruitment wise, Jerrell's going to LSU already. You and Trey still get to decide. Have you guys possibly discussed the potential of teaming up in college, whether it be at LSU or just you and Trey somewhere else?
Uh, Not really. We didn't. I mean, he's told me like you should go to LSU, bro. But I wouldn't say like within all three of us we've like talked about teaming up or any of that. Because I would say really all of us just want to go to the schools that best fit for us. I mean, and if it was a fit for all of us, then that would be good. But I mean, it's whatever.
And so upcoming season now is going to be really you're the focal point of the team. You're the main guy in the offense. It's going to be a little bit different. You play with a lot of stars, both AAU wise, high school wise. How do you plan now to take over and become really the main guy and become the leader of a team?
I think it will help my recruitment as in doing that, showing other colleges that maybe don't have interest in me because I'm maybe like not haven't been good enough of a leader. Maybe something like that can change their mind of me having a good season this year and leading a team that doesn't have experience to expectations that no one really has for us. So I would say that would be big.
What are you capable of averaging? What's kind of your goal or your projection you think you could possibly average this upcoming season?
Um, I mean, I really never like get into that. To be honest, if anything, I want to average to seven to. I would say six to eight assists. That's what I would want to average. Just because if I'm doing that, then I would say that our team is going to have somewhat some type of success.
And you overall has grown over the past couple of years. I believe you came into high school around 5'10" ish. Now you're pushing 6'2", 6'3". How have you adjusted this new height and how's it helped you on the court?
I mean, I would say it's helped me get over the hump of me being that little guard. So I would say I'm not that little guard that everyone is waiting on growing. I would say I've grown, and I would say of that's helped aspects of my game, and I think that played a big part of more colleges having interest in me.
That's big time. Let's get into some more colleges. You have offers from all over the place, from Texas A&M, Memphis, TCU, Texas, Wake Forest, and the list goes on and on. Who right now, though, has been showing the most interest? Who are you in the most contact with?
I would say the schools showing the most interest are Arkansas, Texas, and Texas A&M. I'd say all those schools are showing the same amount of interest, checking in on me, just asking what I'm doing, seeing what I'm doing in my workouts, and then we'll talk about just other things besides basketball. So, I mean, my relationships with all three of those schools I would say, are to a point that it's more than basketball.
We'll start off with Arkansas. Coach Musselman is known as a coach that high energy, a fun guy. What would it be like and what's your relationship like with him right now?
I think he would be a fun coach to play for. I love the energy that he brings and his personality. I like, and overall, I think he could be a person that can help me get to the next level.
No doubt. Well, overall program out there is pretty solid. He built it up now where Arkansas is contending for top players. Arkansas has put together a top 10 recruiting class in 2020. You got 2021 starting out with a few big time players. Just kind of seeing this momentum now of Arkansas basketball. What's like seeing that?
I think it's pretty good because I mean, Arkansas is in the SEC, so you would think of them as like a football school. But I mean, for the past couple of years, they've really proven that they're good at basketball too. So I would say that that's played a big part.
You mentioned Texas. Coach Shaka Smart is another great coach, known really for his development of players. What's your relationship like with him and how's that continued to grow over the past couple months and past couple years now?
My relationship with Coach Shaka is really good. Me and him are close. Like I said, we talk about things other than basketball, and I, I also think he's a great person. I think that besides him being the coach at the University of Texas, that he's a good person.
Guys always talk about this teams that are the most connected to the guys that they really like in terms of coaches tend to be the ones that they talk about more than just basketball with. But when you talk about Coach Shaka Smart, what are some of the things that you guys do talk about that's besides basketball?
Um, just things like because I did have corona, so I mean he would text me on how I was doing with that and stuff like that, and then he's asked me like he'll ask me like what I'm doing. Like yesterday, he asked me what I was doing, and I told him that I just got done playing a fall league game and that I was watching the NBA finals, and he texted me back uh something, and just from there we just go have conversations that just go on with more than basketball.
That's awesome. Venturing off that a little bit, you mentioned the COVID part. Just kind of go what through it? Were you symptomatic or how'd that go?
No, I was pretty sick for like I would say 4 to 5 days. I had the chills, headache, body ache. I never had a temperature, but I lost my I lost my smell, taste, and all that. So it was I would say it was a little rough 4 to 5 days, but I mean it took me a long time to get a negative test. So I had corona for about like almost 3 weeks.
Is all your tasting and smelling back now?
Yeah, my taste and smell is back now, but I mean when I work out, it is a little hard to breathe just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm super congested from it.
Gotcha. You also mentioned Texas A&M. It's another big time program, and they're really prioritizing a lot of guys to stay home, stay in the state, possibly building a thing where you have a lot of guys you've grown up with and known going to the same school. What would that be like?
I think that would be cool playing with a guy like Manny, a guy that I've known since middle school. Played with him this past summer too. I think it would be cool to team up with someone like him at a school like that, and the relationship that I have with those coaches. I think it would be cool.
Manny's a different kind of player. We see him highly ranked in a lot of different recruiting sources, but I feel like a lot of people still don't know who he necessarily is. He's still a little slept on, even though he is highly ranked. What is Manny capable of, and what do you kind of expect from him now as he gets ready to go to college and gets into his college career in a year or so?
I think Manny is going to be capable of doing big things. He just has so much potential just because of his athleticism and his size and the way he just plays the game. So I think he'll pan out to be really good.
You mentioned a lot of schools that have offered you, shown the most interest. Who is really prioritizing you that have yet to give you the offer? Who's really talking to you the most and possibly will give you the offer sometime soon?
I would say Virginia. Virginia is it would be in the conversation for that. Uh, they text me uh, a lot and talk to me about stuff that they do with their guys, stuff that they're doing in practice, and they'll send me like little stuff that they uh, they have of their team and stuff like that. So I would say my relationship with them is pretty good. I text the assistant coach a lot, and yeah, I would say my relationship with them is pretty good.
Virginia is a winning program. Coach Bennett's done incredible things out there, and it might not be the most appealing thing, but someone like Ty Jerome, a guy that wasn't necessarily a high, well-known player forever, goes out there, is successful in his college career, gets drafted to the Phoenix Suns, just is able to get to the NBA though. How appealing is it just seeing a program get guys at your position to the league?
I think that's a huge thing because all of us that are playing right now, the ultimate goal is to go to the NBA. So to have a school that's recruiting you that can definitely help you, and they have proof of that they can help you. I think that plays a big part.
No doubt. And you are in Texas, has allowed you to play in some AAU tournaments now, a lot more than most states have. What's about kind of getting back on the court and playing in different camps and some tournaments and all?
It was pretty good. I mean, I I finished playing in July, so I've been done for quite a while with AAU. I would say it was an interesting season that we had. We didn't really have much time to practice and stuff like that, and really become the team that I would say people hoped for us to be. So, I mean, the weekends we played, it was a little rough. I mean, but I would say it was a really good learning experience for us.
Your team did have a lot of top players in the country. What was it like just playing with those guys and building bonds with them for the short time you did do it?
I thought it was fun those 3 weekends. I mean, just playing together, even though we didn't get the outcome we wanted. I thought it was just fun to play with someone that you like. Everyone on the team liked each other. So I mean, teams like that are just always fun to play with.
Build us your top three, your big three. If it's you obviously in there, who's the two other guys that you think you'd play best with to form the best big three with you?
I think two guys that I would play good with is I would say Vince. I would say he would be one. Him and Keyonte.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would say that like that right there is a good little trio. Just two guards that are capable of shooting outside and getting to the rim in a big rim protector and a guy that can get you a bucket down low.
If you three ever teamed up somewhere at the college level, high school level, wherever it is, what would you guys be capable of doing together?
Think we would be capable of doing some pretty good things. I think because of how good we would be playing together. I think we would have good chemistry and just I would say we're all unselfish. So if you play with guys that are unselfish, then it really makes it easier.
In 2022 in Texas, I think is one of the best states for 2022, especially at the guard position. You just go down this list of guys that are elite players, top 100, and there's 5, 10, 15 of you guys that are at the guard position that from Texas in the top 100. Seeing all that competition, being able to go up against those guys, what's that like?
I think that's good because I mean you always want to play against the top players and top competition. So I mean being able to do that is a blessing.
Who would you say is the favorite guy you got to go up against so far in your high school career?
I would say my favorite guy that I went up against is um, I would say it was Deshaun Nix because
Mhm.
the two times we did play him, he did have 30 on us. So it was interesting seeing that, and he's a really good player. So I would say he was definitely the best person that I've had at a guard.
Let's talk about your family a little bit. Your dad is known as one of the most influential guys in basketball and college recruiting world. Having him that's kind of lived this experience that knows what he's doing in the basketball world, how's that benefited you now in your basketball career?
I think it's helped me a lot in my basketball career because he's just helped me become mentally strong, and he's helped me really try to develop my game to what college coaches are looking for,
Mhm.
and being able to have someone to help you do that is, I think that plays a big part in your career. So I think having that is a blessing.
What's the advice he's not given you throughout your process so far to kind of help you get ready now as you venture into your process?
He's just been just trying to tell me that like whenever I really first got into high school, I would say he was kind of like a little chill on me, and then towards my sophomore year, he was just like, and he still does now, just telling me that like this is like you have to look at this now like it's a business. So
Mhm.
this it's not like middle school anymore where it's just like everything you do matters. Like everyone's paying attention to what you're doing. Every little thing that you do is important. So him telling me that is, I would say it helps.
When was the turning point for you? When did you start realizing you could become a top player in your class and a top player in the country?
I think really after this school year, I would say, because we played a really good schedule, and I think that I had a pretty good season with the schedule that we had. So I would say from that, just I would say that kind of opened my eyes to knowing that I do have the potential to be a top player in my class and stuff like that.
Now, there was a storyline that's kind of spread throughout not only Texas, but a lot of the country now, and that's about Bryce. And I know you're pretty close to him. You were pretty close to this situation. What kind of impact did he have on your life, and how has he kind of inspired you to live your life now?
Um, he's inspired me to live my life. Just I mean, because he was fighting all his life. So I mean, that really just it motivated me to in my workouts just to go harder for him because he's just been fighting for so long, and it just that's just like it's just not. I don't think it was just best for it wasn't best for him and for anyone to witness of him just to suffer, and no one ever wants that for anyone. So I would say just seeing him go through that just it really just made me thrive and just go harder in everything that I did.
I think it was pretty cool seeing the way a lot of players, families, people came together in Texas, and even some people outside the state. But just seeing the way kind of the basketball world and sports world really united around him for a little bit there. What was that like seeing?
I thought it was pretty cool because I mean he's from San Antonio where I'm from, so I mean just seeing not only the city and other cities get behind you, I think it's pretty cool to see, and I thought it was really cool for it to happen, and it was a good thing that everyone was supporting Bryce and just being there for everything that he was going through.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One is talking about building a legacy, something I was like wrapping up with. And by the time you are done playing basketball, you step away from the game someday. What do you want remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
Um, I just whatever in my game that one day that I can perfect, I would say uh that would be something that I want to be known for. If it's shooting, maybe having a really good floater, something like that. If I can just get really good at that, then I mean that's what I want to be known for because it would be a strong suit in my game.
Absolutely. And being a believer, talk about how God's helped get you to the point you're at today and what kind of impact he's had in your life.
I would say God. He's had a huge impact on my life. He's put me through some things that have really opened my eyes and really humbled me as a person and as a player, and just really he's made me go through things that have made me mature in some aspects of basketball and really paying attention to the little details of things that people say and tell me when they're trying to coach me. So I would say being a believer in him that's helped me a lot.
Is there a certain moment that you remember God kind of really impacting your life and you really remember him truly coming into you and helping you through a certain situation?
Yeah, I do. I feel like just anything that I do, any little thing that I achieve, I think that the reason why I'm achieving it is because of him and because of the things that he's capable of doing.
And going forward as a basketball player, I mean, even so to a degree today, but go to the college level and then pro level, it's gonna be a lot of different temptations and stuff that comes your way. How do you plan to be able to stay strong to your faith and stay strong to God?
Uh, just just believing in God because God is always going to be there for you. Because I mean, whenever whenever your parents die, I mean, you got your siblings, but at the end of the day, whenever you die, it's only going to be you. So I mean, having God by your side is always good, and just stand in faith and believing Him will help you in the long run.
Amen, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, keeping your thing, man, and look forward to this upcoming season for you. Of
Appreciate it, bro.
course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
You too.